The PSBB Buzz is back with two new stories in this edition. The first is something which we as students enjoy watching on television. It is indeed such a joy to watch athletes of diverse nationalities assembling together at one big event to compete and win accolades for their country. Yes, we are talking about the London Olympics 2012. It is indeed a matter of pride that one of our alumnus, Sharat Kamal, has represented our country at the table tennis competitions at the Olympics twice, Athens 2004 and Beijing 2008. Our next story is an international issue which is concerned with human rights, the CONI 2012. Now this is an issue which all of us are passionate about because it involves children. Over to Afreen and Sagarika, who will now bring to you the story on London Olympics 2012.
In this edition of the PSBB Buzz, we bring a report on the London Olympics 2012. From its inception in Greece in 8th century BC to London in 2012, the Olympics have come a long way. The Olympics, the most awaited sports event, will be held in London. With just 134 days to go, the Olympics will begin on 27th July 2012.
This will be the third time London is hosting the Olympics, having done in 1908 and 1948. With more than 10,800 athletes participating in the London Summer Olympics, it will see the coming together of various nations across the world. As much as 305 nations will be battling it out for the gold medals in 302 events in 26 sports. Summer Paralympic Games will be the 14th Paralympics and will take place between 29th August and 9th September 2012.
This is the first time London will be hosting the Paralympic Games, while UK hosts it for the second time. With 503 events in 21 sports, the Olympics will take place in a host of new venues.
The opening ceremony, Taekwondo, directed by Danny Boyle of the Slumdog Millionaire fame, is sure to be a grand success. Motto of the Olympic Games, swifter, higher, stronger. These three powerful words are enough to encourage the athletes to give his or her best during the competition and to view this effort as a victory in itself.
Never mind the performance of athletes. The Olympics are all about the coming together of nations of the world. The most important thing is not winning but to take part in the games. The Olympics teach us a whole set of values.
Friendship, respect, excellence are the values that the Olympics behold. Courage, determination, inspiration, equality are the values that the Paralympic Olympics behold.
Lucky participants.
We wish them all the best.
We are very happy to have S. Gokul here with us. He is a student of class 9 from our school. He is also a national level tennis champion. He has won many accolades, the most recent one being a prestigious scholarship given to him during the Chennai Open. So tell me, Gokul, what do you think of the Olympics in general?
I definitely feel the Olympics is a wonderful stage for all athletes to display their skills at a global arena, and it would be a really good opportunity for them to bring pride and glory for their country.
That is the most important thing about the Olympics. Who is your role model?
My role model has always been Roger Federer, who belongs to Switzerland.
And what are your plans for the future?
Just like any other athlete would aspire to take part in the Olympics, I too like to take part in the Olympics and bring pride and glory to my country and take the Indian tennis to the next level.
Thank you, Gokul. We'd like to wish you all the best and we hope to achieve your goal.
Thank you.
This is correspondent Afreen for BBC News School Report.
Friends from our partner school in the UK, Reetham High School, Norfolk, Kate, Elliot, Emily and Gabriella had this to say about the London Olympics. They felt that the London Olympics helped to bring about a sense of national integration and they were glad that the government was encouraging them to be volunteers. They also felt they could hardly wait for the London Olympics to commence, just as all of us are waiting too. In various villages, the celebrations for the London Olympics are being merged with the Queen's Diamond Jubilee. That's all we have from them. We are honored to interview Mrs. Sheila Rajendra, the Deputy Dean Director of our school. She is also the Director of Sports Academy of PSBB Group of Schools.
This is all about different nations coming together, which is truly global. And in today's scenario, when we are talking about global world and globalization and these jargons, the Olympics as such has been truly global so many decades back. With regard to the Indian sportsmen and their performance and their possible achievements at the Olympics, we are doing well in hockey, we are doing well in shooting, we are doing okay in the athletics, but we do have a long way to go. I guess in the London 2012 Olympics, we stand a good chance in terms of shooting. I guess we will do well. In fact, we are being trained by the professionals.
Thank you, ma'am. Now over to Varsha and Durga, who will bring you the next news story of the day, Koni 2012.
I'm Varsha. And I'm Durga from Padma Seshadri Balabhavan, Nongabakam. Today, we'll be presenting to you an issue that has garnered international attention and provoked a worldwide reaction.
We are talking about Koni 2012.
If one has been in touch with the internet, he or she would have come across the campaign to arrest Joseph Kony.
But only few of us know what this campaign is all about and who is Joseph Kony. So what are the answers to these questions?
Kony 2012 is a film by Invisible Children Incorporated. This film aims to make Joseph Kony famous, not to celebrate him, but to raise awareness about the crimes he commits.
Joseph Kony is a Ugandan criminal who abducts children from their homes and forces conscription into his army, the LRA or the Lord's Resistance Army. These children are forced into becoming young soldiers and slaves and forced to mutilate other people's faces. For these crimes, Kony has topped the list of the International Criminal Court's world's wanted criminals.
Our correspondent will bring to you the spread of Kony 2012 through social media.
Thank you, Durga. Kony 2012 is a video for a cause that the new generation stands for because they believe in the ability of making a change. In the internet-controlled world of today, social media seems to be the best way of passing on a message. Because of websites like Twitter, Facebook and YouTube, Kony 2012 has managed to become viral. Over 75 million views in over 8 days, it is the fastest growing video campaign in the world. Shared more than 2.24 billion times on Facebook, it has provoked the sympathy of many people across the world because the video has showcased the forced recruitment of more than 30,000 African children. Why has it taken 20 years for people to know about Kony, even during the time of social media? But even now, only 1% of the world's population know about this criminality. With over 39 million views on YouTube, 1 million likes and 37 dislikes. This is correspondent Akhilesh for BBC News School Report. Back to studio.
Thank you for that.
We interviewed our very own teacher, Mrs. Rama Sundram, who had lived in Uganda, Africa for about 3 years from 1997 to 2000.
Here's what she had to say on this issue.
Well, I heard you lived in Africa. When and where did you live in Africa exactly, and what were you doing there?
Well, I lived in Jinja, quite close to Kampala in Uganda. And actually, I was a teacher there in St. James Higher Secondary School.
Oh. So, while you were living there, did you hear of such situations or incidents?
Yeah, we have heard incidents about children missing and absconding, but actually we could not relate it to Joseph Kony as you are doing it now.
So there was very little awareness of his acts back then.
Yeah, definitely. We did not know about Joseph Kony at all. And why this was happening, none of us could actually tell, why this crime is going on in this country.
So do you think initiatives by the youth, such as Kony 2012, could bring such criminals to book?
Definitely, because youth power is very strong. And the awareness you all are bringing now is, widespread now, and people are talking about it all over the world.
Well, thank you for your time, ma'am.
Thank you, Akhilesh.
Thank you, Akhilesh. While Kony 2012 has been receiving tremendous response over the internet, it has also been a target for criticism.
Some critics feel that the profits are going more into the hands of the organizers as opposed to the affected.
African intellectuals feel that the Invisible Children Incorporated is dangerously simplifying a complex problem to raise funds.
Many countries feel that the problem should be handled differently as opposed to what is presently being done.
Critics also feel that the campaign against Joseph Kony stereotypes Africa to be a weak and damaged continent which is incapable of solving its own problems.
We now go back to our correspondent who will bring to you the views of various countries all around the world.
Despite its popularity over the internet, Kony 2012 is slowly getting some attention from the Chinese masses. Chinese actors too have helped popularize this video and helped it garner over 1 million views on Chinese video sites. Moving to Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan experts have drawn up comparisons to the LTTE issue which cropped up in their country a couple of years ago. But they are worried about how these child soldiers are going to be reintroduced to the society as their mental well-being would have been affected. In India, the response has not been as overwhelming as expected, as with very poor awareness for this issue. Whereas the youth from the UK believe that the makers of this video should be applauded for what they have done and feel that this could and should be recognized as innovation in the same way as we celebrate Mark Zuckerberg. In Africa, politicians from countries such as Uganda are willing to cooperate and work with any friend of the country to end, and I quote, mindless killing and slaughter. Their main aim is to secure the children's safety and to secure justice from the international community. This is correspondent Akhilesh for BBC News School Report.
We have the latest development coming in connection with this issue. I quote, the International Criminal Court on Wednesday convicted Congolese military chief Thomas Lubanga of war crimes for conscripting children into his army, the tribunal's first ever verdict. Rights groups hailed the verdict, saying it sent a strong message to other warlords still using children, including the fugitive Ugandan rebel leader Joseph Kony. This will be instrumental in spreading awareness, and this is something which the youth of today are working towards. Thank you.
The film Kony 2012 expires on 31st December 2012. Whether or not it will be successful in achieving its intentions is something which cannot be determined at the moment.
With that, we come to the end of this edition. Don't forget to send us your views to psbbus@gmail.com. Until next time, this is Varsha
And Durga for BBC News School Report.
Thank you and have a nice day.